up everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Chris. Today we're going to be making a vegan garlic chili noodle. It's going to have my signature chili oil recipe in it. It's a staple in my kitchen. We put it on everything and you will too. I hope you guys enjoy. So we're going to start by taking these shiitake mushrooms and we're just going to quarter them. I've already taken the stems off and we use those for a stock. You don't want to throw them away. So we have some cooked water chestnuts already. These you can find in the Asian grocery store. They come cooked already and they come in like a vacuum sealed bag. So we're just gonna give these a rough chop. They're really delicious. They add a nice like nutty flavor to like stir fries and noodle dishes. Next we're gonna chop up some cabbage. Today we have some napa, so we're gonna chop up some napa cabbage. We're also going to chop up some broccoli. So today we're going to be using these fried bean curd sheets. These you can find in your Asian grocery store in the freezer aisle. These things are my absolute favorite. I prefer using these over tofu because of the texture. They almost become like nice and crispy when you toast them in the oil. You have to try these out. They're absolutely fantastic. So they're going to roast these shiitake mushrooms in the wok on high heat. And we're not going to add any kind of oil or anything yet. We're going to dry roast them first to release some of the moisture and to give them a nice smoky flavor. So you want to like leave them alone in there. You don't want to move them around too much at first, maybe for the first minute. And then you want to start moving them around and making sure they're not browning too much. And then once they get a little brown, then we'll add some oil to give them a little bit of a sheen. So the shiitake mushrooms are pretty much done. They're nice and caramelized and the oil really gave them like a lot of nice flavor. So we're just going to take these out and we're going to be cooking everything separately because everything has different cook times and it's just easier that way. Just put the wok back on high heat. And now we're going to be adding in the soybean sheets. We get chili oil right to the pan right away with these. We're not going to dry roast these. So now we're going to take our broccoli that we cut up earlier and we're going to add it to the wok. Again, we're going to be using high heat. We're going to get it so it's nicely charred and it gets a nice smoky flavor from the wok. And it's going to take about like five or so minutes. You don't want to move it around too much in the beginning. You want it to really get that nice, deep, dark, rich chard on the outside. And now we're going to add about a quarter cup of some vegetable stock. So the broccoli will steam the rest of the way and get some flavor from that nice vegetable stock that we made. So we're just going to let the vegetable stock pretty much evaporate. Once it's evaporated, we're going to put the broccoli aside and then move on to the cabbage. And I haven't seasoned anything with like salt and pepper yet. We're going to be making a little bit of a sauce, and that's going to have most of all the salt in it. Now we're going to add some sesame oil to the pan for the cabbage. We're gonna be cooking this on high heat as well. We're gonna cook down the cabbage until it's like slightly wilted. You still wanna like retain like a little bit of the crunch with it. And you wanna constantly like move it around the pan because you don't want it to burn, because you will. And then we're gonna add the ginger, garlic, and the shallots. These are all minced together. So we're gonna add some salt to this, just so the shallots and the garlic and the ginger sweat. It'll help them. We're gonna let these cook down for about 2 to 3 minutes until they become translucent. So now that the ginger and garlic have gotten some color and they become translucent and also become fragrant, you'll smell when they're ready. We're gonna add in the vegetables again because the vegetables aren't cooked all the way through. We just kind of try them and develop some flavor first. And now we're gonna finish them and then we're gonna add some salt. The reason why we didn't add salt in the beginning because salt draws out the moisture and we wanted to get a nice dark char on them to develop flavor. I add about 2 teaspoons of salt to become a little bit more salty. Now would be a good time to like taste it and make sure it's seasoned enough. Perfect. You can really taste the char and the smokiness from the wok. If you have a wok, I would definitely use it or think about buying one. You really can't replicate the taste that you get from it. We're just going to cook the vegetables through, and then we're going to put them to the side, and then we're going to add the sauce in, and let the sauce thicken up, and then toss in the noodles. So I deglazed the pan with some shao wine, which is Chinese cooking wine, a little bit of black vinegar, water, and soy sauce. And we're going to bring this to a simmer, and then we're going to add in a slurry. So a slurry is just cornstarch and water, equal parts, and it's going to thicken up the sauce nicely. So once you add the cornstarch into the liquid, it should thicken up pretty fast, thicken up within like 30 seconds, and you get left with like a nice sauce. So we're going to add in about 1 tablespoon of sugar. You can add more or less depending on, you know, how sweet you want to make the sauce. But we want a pretty like sweet and salty, savory sauce. So we're going to add 2 tablespoons of the chili oil to the wok and put it on low heat. And we're going to toss the noodles in the chili oil, and then we're going to add the vegetables and then toss in the other sauce that we made earlier. I have another video up on the chili oil recipe. It's really delicious. You guys should check it out. It's made with 3 different kinds of chilies and a bunch of different spices. So we're going to bring about 4 quarts of water to a boil, and then we have these wide lo mein noodles. We're going to use dry noodles today. We're going to cook these, and then we're going to rinse them off, and then toss them with the chili oil and the vegetables. So you guys can use any kind of dried noodle or fresh noodle that you want. Just cook it accordingly to whatever the package says on the directions. So we're going to toss the noodles with the chili oil. We're going to put it on low heat just to reheat the noodles a little bit because we rinsed them in cold water because that's what the directions said to do. So you have to reheat them again when you're ready to serve. Then after that, we're going to add the broccoli and the cabbage and all the vegetables, and we're also going to add the chestnuts that we chopped up earlier. And now we're going to take 2 tablespoons of the soy sauce and shao wine mixture, and we're going to add it to the veg and the noodles and toss it. So now we're just going to plate it up. It smells delicious. I can't wait to have this. You can really smell the chili oil and the ginger and the garlic and all the spices. Plate it up. It smells delicious. Can't wait to have this. You really smell the chili oil and the ginger and the garlic, all the spices. I'm gonna garnish with some fresh cilantro. spices. The chilies come out nicely. It's a little spicy, it's good. Taste the nice char of the vegetables from the wok. Here you have it, guys. Chili garlic noodles. It's smoky, it's flavorful, it's got nice spice. You really will enjoy this recipe, I promise you. Please like, share, and subscribe, and share with a friend. Thank you so much.